All right, here is my note card. You can see. Okay. Good evening, class. My name is David Deal. I'm going to speak to you tonight on motorcycles. So motorcycles to me are a passion that I've had for quite a while now. For me, how it all started was I was stationed in Alameda in California, living in a high commute area with a lot of traffic, and I wanted to find a way to save time and money. So one of the things that my wife and I contemplated was getting a motorcycle because the only other option we had in the Bay Area was mass transit. That mass transit worked out for a little while in the beginning. The motorcycle in the end ended up being a lot better option for us because the fuel savings, the time savings, and being able to split lanes really helped a lot. So tonight I want to cover what are the benefits of having a motorcycle, how it all started for me, how I learned how to ride, what some of the components on the bike are, and what the thrill of riding on a bike is like for me and most people in general. So a quote that I want to start out with was by Comm, and it said, "The only thing that really matters is that the bike supports your learning." That was true when I first got my first Ninja. It was a Blue 250 off a fellow Coast Guard member. He had it for sale on the Coast Guard for sale for rent, and I wanted a small bike to ride on. So I looked into that, purchased it. I didn't have any gear, so I was fortunate enough that he gave me a helmet, which allowed me to ride the bike at least on our side street for the time being, so I could get used to keeping my balance, learning how to ride, brake, and accelerate, since I had never ridden a motorcycle before or a dirt bike. Once I got used to doing that, I also had to go get a jacket, gloves, boots, and pants to be able to ride legally on the road, as well as a license. The Coast Guard required that and requires 5 years of training to complete your overall certification to ride on the bases as well. So for me, that's how I started learning how to ride the bike. Was I rode initially on the side streets. As I got comfortable riding, I graduated to where I was going to stop signs, riding within small traffic, a few cars here and there around the neighborhood, going through some stoplights. And then as I got more comfortable riding and braking and getting used to the power on the bike, I started riding on the highways, not great distances, but shorter distances for the time being, just to get used to riding. Another quote that I had was by Raymond. It said, "Hard acceleration yields instant joy, but if applied inappropriately, it can be fatal." That's really true on a motorcycle. Unlike a bicycle, when you actually accelerate on the throttle pretty hard, the bike creates a lot of power, and you can go 0 to 100 or even more depending on your bike quickly, which when you're not used to that kind of power as a new rider, that could actually take your life or injure you greatly if you're not used to it. So what are some of the components that are on a motorcycle? Typically on a motorcycle, you're going to see two wheels, typically your mirrors, windshield, handlebars, brake levers. You can have your seat, gas tank. It's usually around 2 to 5 gallons depending on the bike. Some bikes have a secondary seat up here with stands and pedals for people's feet. Your exhaust is usually going to be either left or right. Some of them are going to be under the center of the bike. And then you'll see some kind of a belt or a chain-driven mechanism on the bike, as well as disc brakes typically. That's a pretty standard setup on a bike. Most of them are going to be anywhere from 2 to 4 cylinders. They're usually very good on gas. This is what they call a liter bike. So it's 1,000 cc's. And you get typically about 50 miles to the gallon on the highway. My initial bike was a 250, and I could get about 70 miles to the gallon on it. So it was a lot more fuel efficient, but it didn't have near the power top end that this bike does. Another quote that I had was by Reed, and it said, "Riding a motorcycle will always include an element of danger, and there's no way around that." That's really true for bikes, because typically when you're riding, unlike a car or truck, where you have the windows and doors and seat belts to keep you safe. The bike only has your helmet, jacket, gloves, your pants, boots, and any other safety precautions you want to wear. When you're riding on a motorcycle, you can feel the wind, rain, if you're having to down the bike, the tarmac, and even when passing vehicles, they don't tell you initially, you'll feel the adjustment on a bike as you're going around a vehicle. It feels unlike anything else you can imagine. And also riding at night, you'll see bugs hit your face mask as well. So that gets kind of annoying, but it's just part of riding. Lastly, for me, that's what it all boils down to, is just the thrill of it. I enjoy riding. I've been riding now for about 6 years. This is my second bike. I don't see me not wanting to continue riding in the future based on the money that I'm able to save and fuel. I can typically spend about $5 or $6 to fill it, no matter how high gas is, the time I can split lanes, and just the overall thrill of it. That's what it boils down to me, is the enjoyment of it. So I challenge you, if you've never ridden a motorcycle and you're contemplating it, I know for me, that was my situation. I was able to go out and just start learning on my own. It turned out to be something that I really enjoy. Thank you.
I got a question. You ever did a wheelie?
No, I have not.